Hi everyone! So, with Pokemon X and Y versions finally released, we've got some new information on Pokemon Z, aka the new legendary Pokemon, Zygarde. While this legendary Pokemon does kinda look like Flygon and Dunsparce's love child, it was a very highly anticipated legendary being inspired by the serpent that supposedly roams Hell's Depths in the Norse mythology thing involving the World Tree. So Zygarde, it is the Order Pokemon, it is Ground and Dragon type, and its ability is called Aura Break, which reverses the effects of Xerneas and Yveltal's abilities, Fairy and Dark Aura, respectively. And Zygarde, its Dex entry, it already heavily hints to its involvement in like the plotlines for sequel versions. It's hypothesized that it's monitoring those who destroy the ecosystem from deep in the cave where it lives. In either X or Y version, Team Flare tried to destroy pretty much all of humanity and all of the Pokemon using the power of Xerneas or Yveltal. It's kinda like a no-brainer that the player will get some involvement with Zygarde, which will help the player to stop Team Flare from accessing the legendary Pokemon's power to destroy the ecosystem, especially since like Zygarde's ability specifically nullifies Xerneas and Yveltal's abilities. Hence, not only cutting off Team Flare's access to the other two legendary Pokemon's powers, but also effectively bringing order back into the ecosystem that it's supposed to be monitoring and protecting. Honestly, I'm not sure we're going to go into like an X2 and Y2 version, or if we're going straight into Pokemon Z version here. That's honestly up to Nintendo. Or even if we're going into a direct plot-based sequel of X and Y version, or if we're going into like a replay of X and Y just featuring Zygarde this time. Kinda like what happened with like Emerald version and Crystal version and Platinum version. But it's pretty clear to me that Zygarde's gonna have a major role in stopping the villainous team, whether it's Team Flare or if they bring in a whole new team, who knows, in the next games. And we also probably will see a more expanded upon connection between Zygarde and the other two version mascots. Because all we know right now is that Xerneas represents life, Yveltal represents destruction, and Zygarde represents the balance between those two. And on another note, it looks like with the reveal of Zygarde, second theory I had about a Hoenn sequel kinda goes down the drain. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that there's probably going to be a correlation between the mascots of Generation 6 and Generation 3. And that is that Xerneas and Groudon both being related to the land, Rayquaza and Yveltal both being related to the sky or to the air, and that Kyogre would have a correlation to Pokemon Z. And unfortunately it doesn't. Because since Zygarde is a ground dragon type, completely rebuked my theory, but still keeping my fingers crossed for Mega Mewtwo Z being focused on defense for the sake of the balance. And also especially a Hoenn remake because the Hoenn region has a very special place in my heart, and hopefully some more Kalos event legendaries because, let's be honest here, 69 new Pokemon, that number is wrong for so many reasons.